Bestie fam, the time is now. Festival goers unite. Welcome to the Festiie Files, where we get an in-depth interview with the amazing, inspiring personalities that collectively bring the music festival experience to life. So whether you're someone just watching at home, someone that attends festivals as a spectator, someone that's an event organizer, or if you're a headliner DJ, we all contribute, we all have a piece to give to this puzzle that is the festival community. My name is Desmond Beristain. I am the CEO and founder of Festiie, the festival smart band. And today, this is going to be pretty fun because right around the corner we've got an event coming, and it's partially orchestrated by this guy right here. So he is the VP at S.AF Entertainment, which is a nonprofit organization management creating safe spaces in fun places. Make sure I said that right. He's also the success manager at Denver Digital Marketing Agency, because, hey, let's face it, we got to get, whether you're a product, an artist, you need marketing. It's very important in building your brand, and he understands that. So he's able to offer that expertise. He's also the owner of Good Time Rides, which offers party buses, which we also need when you're going to any concert, music festival, and other things too, weddings, whatnot. So just collectively trying to enhance your experience in any which way. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Tyler Bourque joining the Festiie Files podcast. Welcome, Tyler.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Desmond.
Yeah, man, no worries. So yeah, let's get right into it. Today's April 29th, and you guys have an event May 7th through May 10th, which is the S.AFE Music Festival. Maybe you could talk about that, and then we'll dive deeper into your story.
Okay, so we basically, with S.AF Entertainment, we were doing a bunch of tailgating events, sporting events, concerts, but with what happened, we decided to go with the virtual music festival route. Came up with that idea in bed one night, and just started getting connections. I was sending out 150 LinkedIn messages a day. And then met Connor with Beat Gig, and we just started signing a bunch of artists for it. And we want to do yoga beforehand. We're going to have a nonprofit stage where we're going to bring on guests and speaking about the coronavirus, and then sobriety as well, and wellness and health. And we're going to have one stage on May 7th, 3 stages on May 8th and 9th, and then one stage on May 4th. So we're pretty excited about it.
Oh man, it sounds epic. And like I said, thanks for taking the time amidst all that, because it's basically about 8 days away from kicking off. But talk about that. Talk about, obviously with everything going on right now, and you guys made a quick turnaround to say, well, let's be proactive. Let's shed positivity on the space right now. Just talk about how quickly and how you guys had to make these moves to make this happen, and kind of how that feels. We're literally a week away, and it's going to be an epic event.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking still. I've never done anything like this, especially in the digital world. It's something, a lot of, I thought it was going to be really simple, just live stream people in or have them pre-record videos and send them in. Basically, I mean, there's just so much that goes into it. So I'm not sure. It's been a trek. Let me say it like that. Like the executive director of S.AF Entertainment, Duke Rumley, he basically just loved the idea, so we just ran with it. And LinkedIn really helped out with that. Like sending out all those messages, we got connected real well, and Duke has a lot of connections. So we were sending out around also another 100 emails a day to people. And finally, it's amazing how people can come together, like with technology and everything that's going on. It seems like I've never done Zoom conference before, so it's just started,
Yeah, here we are, man. Now you're advanced now. You got the epic background. It's you're a fast learner. And you mentioned it, like the response, right? So first off, the response from the EDM community, you could say, where EDM community was right on it, pushing out live streams probably a week after, you know, this pandemic was declared. And that's inspiring and uplifting, and it gives people, you know, just comfort during these times. So but you mentioned it isn't just like a snap of the fingers. It requires, you know, sending out 100 emails a day and being super active and hoping that you get that response. And the cool thing is, you know, during these times, people are willing to open up and are willing to respond and interact. And I know one thing for the Festiie Files podcast, we started working and reaching out and hitting up, you know, whether it's an artist, as we mentioned, dancers, event organizers from all different levels of the industry. But people were pretty down, you know. They were like, hey,
Yeah.
we'll jump on and we'll shed some light. And I think that's what makes this cool, even though it's a lot of moving parts and a lot of transitions in such a short period of time.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like everything was there and we just had to put it together for ourselves, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's kind of what it takes, right? We'll talk about Sober AF Entertainment and pretty much the story behind that, the mission behind that, and what drew you into that.
Okay, so Sober AF Entertainment was started 2 years ago by Duke Brumley, as I said before. He has been sober for, God, I want to say 30 years, 9 years. I don't know. I mean, it's been a minute since I've talked to him in person. But yeah, as you said before, creating safe spaces and fun places. Before I was going to festivals and concerts all the time and getting litty titty, and not really remembering much. But I remember I would go and be the sober driver a few different times, and I always felt so awkward going to these events and not being able to I'm a real sociable person, so like if I go and meet someone new and I'm not doing what they're doing, they kind of think I'm a narc or something. So Dude came up with this idea, and I heard about it when he gave his speech, just bringing a bunch of people together that want to do the same thing. And not be judged and just have a good time and actually create some memories. They did an event at Decadence this past year, the convention center in downtown Denver. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't get to attend that one, sadly. I went to the hockey game where they had a sober section there. But up until, I think it was November 8th, I was partying and I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. So I flipped the switch, called my parents, and was like, look, I need to go to rehab. I just really need to start focusing on other things.
Yeah.
I had fun partying for 10 years. And so I went to Colorado Springs Peaks Recovery Center. Did it for 3 months and then Duke gave a speech and I just approached him. And I was really, I'm not a big 12-step or meeting person. Like I don't go and do that, but I figured if I found something fun to do that has to do with sobriety and that I deal with every day, you know?
Yeah.
And that it was perfect for that because he brought me on and I just love it. It's great. And he's a great guy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for sharing that. I feel like it's important to have these talks and to share it, and it's inspiring to hear it just come from you, you know what I mean? Because I think everyone in the community, and that's why these podcasts, they're becoming, this is something bigger than what we thought it would be when we started. Like we go pretty deep with whoever we have on, whether we're talking about, you know, things that occur at festivals and how we can all elevate and make sure that, you know, when we're back at festivals, we are just looking out for each other. And it's you know, you just mentioned it, attending the festival, and everyone knows a lot of people go there, we go to party and party hard, especially if you're like a first time festival goer and you're just getting into the flow and you fall in love with the whole, you know, experience, the people, the art installations, the energy, and you want to keep doing it again and again and again. You know, and as great as that is, there's also a form of kind of, you got to understand there is a little discipline, or whether it's having, you know, one designated driver or one sober, what they call them, like rave mom that like looks after the family and stuff like that. So yeah, it's maybe just the fact that you're sharing this story is great. I mean, talk about that, because I'm sure, you know, talk about what festivals mean to you, and then now it's great because now you're on the other side and you still love festivals, but you're giving back. But just talk about that little journey from the festivals again.
So I gotta say, my first festival was 3 years ago. I've only been to 5 or 6. Vertex was my first one in Buena Vista. I love Odessa.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know. There's no plans. Like, I just went with one friend and we would just go and meet people. And if they were doing the same thing we were doing at the time, then it just lasted much longer. And then one of the coolest things at Vertex was I met this girl named Tara Dalton. And we became really good friends for a long time. I believe we still are. We haven't talked in a minute, but you know how it goes. But then we went to ACL together like 2 years later. And it's just amazing how she loves Odessa to death. She came out to visit me in Colorado too, to go to Red Rocks.
Yes.
We went in a pink Escalade limo. Like, pretty sure it was the year that Rufus opened up for him.
Man, that's incredible.
It was quite amazing, I gotta say. But it's just moments like those where you find someone that loves the same things that you do, and you can just grow from there. And someone you'd never expect to meet that just becomes a lifelong friend, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I'd say that's the most important thing to me about festivals, especially now.
The people you meet, and how you mentioned it, it literally extends beyond the festival. Like, you go there, you know, you're excited for just everything, and then you meet people and you build relationships that extend beyond the festival, people that you still keep in touch with to this day. And when you go there, you can meet up and go experience things, and then you have that feeling. And it's funny that you bring up Odessa, because same thing here. My first festival, I vividly remember like the sun setting and Odessa's playing, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is it. But you're in Denver, and Red Rocks is like known for the most, is that, you know, that's an iconic venue. Yeah. So to see them there, and Odessa loves it out there too. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm sad that the season's been canceled pretty much.
Yeah, it's yeah. You know, that's the thing. Well, and that's why we all got to be aware of, like, hey, like, yeah, the season's technically on postponement or whatnot, but you know, we're doing what we can. And as you mentioned, you guys have the S.AF.E Music Festival virtual experience. Talk about the S.AF Music Festival and how you guys weren't just like, oh, let's just get some DJs up there and that's it. You know, you mentioned yoga. You guys are incorporating various things, which when you go to a real music festival, most of them have those different type of amenities, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we wanted to do. I know it's not going to feel like the exact same thing, but we wanted to implement as many interactive things for people as possible. Like, we have contests going on as well, like best meme creation, best tips to do during quarantine. And then people can vote on the artist for the best set. Like, we have an award show on Sunday from 6 p.m. to 6:30. And we just want to make people a part of it. Like, I know there can be like a large group chat, but it's going by so fast you can't even read anything that's going on or keep a conversation going. It's like you're not really making friends like you would there. So we're also going to work. We're not working with Zoom, but we're going to put a Zoom way where people can just create their own chat rooms with their friends easily. And because, you know, like, you go from stage to stage with your friends. So yeah, the yoga, Duke has some other things going on with it. But he hasn't released that information to me yet, because he's running a nonprofit. I know. So
see, that's a good thing. It's, surprises are, you know, a wait, but it's just cool because you guys already put it out there. Like, it's more immersive, right, than just turning on and listening to music. You guys are really going to push out different things, and you have some surprises. So, you know, and then I also saw you guys are offering like free ticket, you know what I mean? So that's cool too, right? Because right now with the economy and everyone's trying to figure out how to just save financially, talk about that, the giving back opportunity that S.AF Music Festival is doing with the free tickets and whatnot. How do we get a free ticket? How do we enter?
So you just go to a Facebook or our website and you can reserve your spot, and Eventbrite is where you can get them. We wanted to do it free because, like you said, not many people can afford it with like jobless claims coming up like by the millions. And we obviously do safe spaces and fun places for sobriety, but we want to be there for everyone at this point in time. So like giving them entertainment and art at the same time would be great. And even if it was $2, like and we're doing it on multiple platforms at once. Like it's going on Facebook, YouTube. What's the other one?
Twitch.
Twitch. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, we want people feel more comfortable on certain platforms as well. So we want them to be able to be as comfortable as possible. So we're really making it for everyone. Although I will say that it's always been a dream of mine to put on something like this in the real world, not the digital world, but I'll take what I can get because it's able to give my thanks back to everyone for, you know, the world made me who I am. So yeah, we just want as many people as possible to enjoy it.
Exactly. That's amazing. And I saw you tell me like even still booking artists and still making things happen and all these moving parts, but it's just great that you guys are, stepping up to the plate and presenting this and giving that opportunity and giving, energy back to the people. Talk about, back to the sober AF. I feel like that's super cool. Like safe, that was witty, sober AF entertainment.
Yeah.
And, you said that with your past, it roped you in and you're very passionate about it and wanted to give back. And I think it's something that in this community, like we all either know someone that has dealt with that or going through it ourselves, so kind of maybe speak about that and shed light on how you were able to turn that corner, because, it's sometimes a little more challenging than just saying, you know what, that's it, I'm done. But you were able to do that, and the fact that you were able to do that, we'd love to like just perpetuate that message.
Okay. So I have been considering rehab since July of that year, but it took some pretty heavy stuff to happen for me to like actually call my parents, because that flips a switch in their head. Like they can't believe it. It's their child, and like just thinking about that even was just terrible. So like it took my girlfriend leaving me, which we got back together, but it took her leaving me. I partied for a week straight, and then looked around at one point on November 7th, the day before I quit, and I didn't recognize anyone around me in my own house, and stuff had gone missing. I spent my rent money on partying that week, and I woke up that morning on November 8th, and my friend Sarah Pikachinsky took me to brunch, and she had said stuff to me that everyone else had said before, that she was worried about me. She said something in a certain way. I can't remember it to this day. Like, it was just a moment. And so instead of talking myself out of it, as soon as she dropped me off at my house, I called my parents. Like, I didn't give any time for it, because, if you think on something, you can always justify the means on why not doing something.
True.
And I've kept it going, but every time that I have a thought about drinking or using, I'll just say no out loud or in my head, or and I see a liquor store, I'll say it then, just trying to change those neural pathways.
Yeah.
So it's been tough, especially it's been harder on a lot of people. I feel like we have virtual meetings every morning and afternoon, like at 7:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's just virtual support for anyone in addiction or not addiction that just needs some help. And it seems like, you have nothing to do. Like, a lot of people have lost their jobs. They're stuck at home. Like, what do you do? Learn a language? That sounds nice, but it's not as easy as it comes down to it. Luckily, I've been very fortunate to where with Sober AF Entertainment that we're able to pivot and do something like this. It keeps my days busy, you know?
Yeah.
So
Dude, that's like I said, thanks for sharing that. I
for
mean,
sure.
because that is something that is just pervasive within our community, and not, that we're negligent of that. Right now we're all at home. You just mentioned it. We're all at home, so we want to have these talks. We want to discuss it. And you even mentioned, like, you don't even have to have an addiction to jump in some of these Zoom meetings and meet other people and hear their stories and just kind of, find a little solace and feel that. And then you also mentioned getting creative right now, right? You are at home. Well, like for me, I got the DJ system behind me. I got a long way to go before I'm at Red Rocks or something like that. But it's okay, right? Just having fun, doing something that you enjoy, and it doesn't have to be, I need to take it as far as it can go. It could just be having fun with it and exploring yourself, right? So, another thing I wanted to ask was, so now talk about the festival experience, going sober. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people think, oh, you can't go to a festival if you're not, if you're sober. But that's not necessarily the case, and you can still have an amazing time. And I know people people that probably only go to festivals sober now because they get to immerse themselves even so much more. So, not saying that there's one wrong way or right way, just saying that there's so many different ways, and we just need to embrace them all and look out for each other, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I got to say, with everything happening, I had just gotten out of rehab when, like, it was the end of February. So, like, I haven't been to a festival yet sober or a concert. So it's going to be something new. But, I mean, I've been doing my research a lot. I've always wanted to go to Burning Man, but I've heard, like, a lot of messages about the drug use out there. But then I ran across this sober group that has their own section, and they just stick together. And so I know a lot about at EDC and Electric Forest. I've been reading up about that and been connecting with people online with it too. It's pretty crazy. Like the people that I'm meeting now for the future of doing something that I want to keep doing, you know? So I'll let you know what it's like whenever I go, but I'm pretty sure it'll be exciting. I won't have to use Snapchat to remember everything, you know?
Dude, well, like I said, man, we're definitely behind you. We support you, and keep going, man. Like, it literally, your story, remember this, like, it's gonna inspire people that you don't even know. You know what I mean? That's like what happens when you face whatever it is that's in front of you, that you know that if I get past this, I'm going to be better off for it. You know what I mean? And I think, like, that's why people love music festivals, is you can go to a music festival and just, like, let go in that spiritual sense and just be yourself and be accepted for that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm sober. And yeah, you're still awesome. Like, you know what I mean? And the same thing, like, I might be here on my own psychedelic journey, and you're still awesome, and we're just looking out for each other, making sure people are okay and us moving forward. We just want to be cognizant of that and elevate. And hey, well, in about 10 days, you'll have a music festival experience that you'll be able to share with us from both sides.
Yeah, there you go. It'll be exciting for sure.
Yeah, dude. So what about good time rides? Talk about that as well, because I think that's something that we all need to just emphasize is, everyone wants to have a safer and better experience, whether it's a concert, whether it's a music festival, and talk about how Good Time Rides just does that. And I'm sure you guys catered things and different themes, and you mentioned like a pink Escalade the other day or whatnot, but just talk about that more, because it seems fun and festive and takes care of a big question mark that people have when they're attending events at times.
Yeah, so basically Good Time Rides is a shuttle for people to pay to go from downtown Denver to Red Rocks, because Ubers, the whole reason I got that pink Escalade limo like 3 years ago, that was my first time, was because it took me $60 in an Uber to get there, and then from Red Rocks back it was $250, like, and that was without tip. So I was just like, that's literally I don't know, half the limo, maybe a third. And what's the whole point of doing something like that? Like I ended up spending $310 that just on that. And so my buddy Shane Ward, he owns the Turtle Bus, and it's these old cool school buses that he rips out and puts in a bar, and then ropes so people can stand and not fall over, like these custom made couches, and it's called Tiki Turtle Bus, and he has about, I think it's 11 of them out on the road, and so people can drink and do whatever they want on the way there. And so he asked us to start Good Time Rides, and then we started working together, and I would fulfill his ticket orders for him because I'm pretty good at marketing, and it's every day's there's more of a learning curve, it feels like, but so I started doing all that. My girlfriend helps me with it. Obviously we haven't been doing too much recently, but we work with multiple companies like Sunset Limousine here in Denver. It's only based in Denver right now. We want to expand it out. Like I was thinking Seattle would be next, because I mean, people from, as you said, Red Rocks is very iconic. People come from all over the US and most likely the world to come and see a show at Red Rocks to see their favorite artists. And we had some people from New York that had never been to Denver before, and then we had the Tiki Turtle Bus, and they bought the tickets from Good Time Rides, and they just had the best time, and we just really want to provide a safe way, cheap way. Like tickets are like $40 maybe, there and back. Wow. 40 total. So it's a lot better than an Uber, and you're not allowed drinking Ubers in Colorado. So
yeah. Dude, it's funny you mentioned that, because that's the same thing with Festiie. When we're creating the festival smart band, and we still are creating it, coming soon, details, stay tuned everyone. But basically we're like, all right, we need to keep each other together at events without relying on cell phone service, Wi-Fi, or data. So we created this band, and then there's also an app. You can see where everyone's at. And then the whole thing is, when we came to pricing and looking at, we're trying to have it cost less than the Uber ride back. Because at EDC, we're paying literally every night, it was like over $100 Uber ride back to the hotel. And we're like, well, that's one night. Imagine doing that 3 nights in a row. That's over $300. So we're like, for us, if we can provide a product that is a fraction of that cost, and you can use it for the next 50 festivals, like, let's do that, So I definitely know the struggle, because there were times before Festiie when we were like, gotta have to pay this right now. This is not fun. So yeah, sure. So let's talk about the marketing aspect. You just mentioned it, and marketing is ever evolving, like literally every single day. And now there's different social media outlets, TikTok, Instagram, of course. Twitch is like resurfacing now as a place where people are heading to consume content. So talk about that journey, and how specifically with music festivals and artists, and what you've seen from the creative side, and what you've tried to kind of implement to go and just kind of go with the times, or maybe even go against the grain and see what happens.
Well, so like you said, it's ever learning. There's always a curve every day. I would say before, like a year ago, I would never watch anything on my computer like that, like a live concert. If it's one of my artists that I want to see, I'm going to go and go to the venue and actually watch them. So it's taken we just started this March 18th. So it's been a little over a month.
Yeah.
And it's been like, I'm not sure if you watched Digital Mirage.
Yep. For sure. Yeah. Top brownies and lemonade.
Yeah, that was great. My girlfriend and I were just dancing in the living room. Like, we were having the best time. Like, it was pretty crazy how different it was, but how like I could still enjoy it without, honestly, people standing right next to me and like spilling their drinks on me, or vice versa. So it's been difficult, but a lot of fun. The thing is with Digital Mirage, like my girlfriend and I like to do yoga. We just started recently picking that up. So we wanted to, like I said before, incorporate a lot of those things. But marketing with it, it allows you to go into multiple different worlds. Like I know there's people that do yoga that aren't big festival goers, and they like the virtual thing that's taking off. I've been doing a lot of research. It takes a lot of research, especially with all this new stuff coming about, and how finding out how interested people are with doing certain things. I sent out probably over 500 surveys in like 2 weeks, and with multiple demographics, it just spread it out and trying to figure out everything, like what people would be interested in. So honestly, I'm learning more from them than because the internet is filled with so much stuff. Like I don't know what to do until like surveys have just been the best thing for me with the marketing side.
That sounds awesome. But yeah, like what we did in the beginning when we're coming up with Festiie, we're like, okay, we lose our friends at festivals. We're pretty sure everyone else does, but how do we solve that and how do we support that claim? So yeah, we surveyed like 1,000 festival goers, and to this day, we have a document where we're like, man, all this information is like, that's valid data. Like that is something we could trust because it's literally coming from the source, people that you've reached out to. And you just mentioned it, you did like 500 surveys, and that's information. When you look at the whole, everything that the internet offers, you're like, man, it's kind of a daunting place, so much information, but you're like, this 500 pertains to exactly what I want to know. And you're starting it off from there, right? And then gathering, it's a thing about gathering data. And even the like A/B testing and whatnot. So yeah. So, okay, let's talk about back to Denver, man, because that's where you're from. And Denver, it's like we're in LA. There have been like San Francisco's popped off over the last decade or so for EDM scene, and LA's popping. Obviously, it's been that way. Vegas, Seattle, you mentioned, and then East Coast as well. But talk about Denver, because Denver has become like literally a hub, and Red Rocks is like the venue. So talk about Red Rocks, talk about the Denver EDM scene. I have friends in Denver and they're always, telling me about who's in town this week. I'm like, dude, you guys just keep it going. So just talk about that influence the EDM industry and community has out there.
It's pretty strong. It's been growing a lot. I mean, ever since they legalized marijuana back in 2013, they've had like 5,000 people move to Colorado a day. I'm sure the numbers have changed since this happened recently with the coronavirus. But yeah, no, it seems like because I'm actually from Texas and I moved out here 2013. So I was there with the first influx of people. So the concerts at Red Rocks, like it seemed like that there was only one Friday, Saturday, but then it started going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the time. And I don't know how big the community out here is, but I can say that some of my best friends right now are from Red Rocks experiences. It was Odessa or Seven Lions or Rufus Du Sol. Yeah, no, and then there's a lot of venues popping up here. Like we had Temple and then Mission Ballroom. Mission Ballroom is the newest one, I believe, right now, and it is one of the coolest places that I've been to, indoor venue-wise.
What makes a venue like to you? What makes it like super cool? What makes it be like, oh man, this place is awesome?
Clean. Like if I can walk around and my shoe doesn't come off, I think that's the main thing. But also being able to choose if you want to be around a bunch of people or be like have a little bit of your own space. Like I love to dance, so
yes,
that would be there. And then the sound and light production, I would say, is probably the main one. I mean, and service. It kind of comes with a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just always hear about Red Rocks, and we all know it's like it is the place. But Denver, the scene has just exploded over the years, and yeah, we're all gonna be back out there soon. Back out there traveling, different destination festivals, and doing all that. So kind of wrapping things up, looking at the community. What you already expressed what the community means to you. It's relationships. How could you shed some positive light additionally, because you already have, on the community, just about what you see in the future and how we all need to just collectively come together and understand we will be back out there and be conscious, right, moving forward, so that we can make, not just be back out there, be it back out there and be more grateful and have an overall better space for everybody, right?
Yeah, I definitely think that people are going to appreciate things a lot more. Like I already have been. Uh, like I wanted to take some time off of work, not this long. Now I want to get back to work, But I guess my positive light that I could share is I've been thinking about how amazing it is that people can come together in times like these, uh, and still stay connected, still communicate, and really support one another. Like with small businesses, I know people have been doing GoFundMe's, or something like that,
Okay.
and just coming together and helping people out, helping artists, because I know they lost a lot of money with their tours going down, but people have been raising money. Like Digital Mirage did that, help out the artists. It's just crazy how creative we actually are, and whenever we're pushed into a corner, how we don't just cower and just like be sad about it. We pump out and become creative and just all come together. I think that's one thing that I love about what's happening, and it just seems like to continue to grow that way.
For sure, for sure. And we all just gotta remember that, right? And and feel that. Like, even if you just have to close your eyes and remember being at a festival, it's okay to feel down about not being there, at this current moment. But just know we will be back out there. Be appreciative of the time we had, and it's just gonna make it that much more satisfying. And when we are back out there, and then we should all appreciate these virtual events, right? It's like S.AF.E Music Festival, what Insomniac's doing, because this is kind of us showing that, like you said, we're going to find a way regardless through all this. And yeah, Tyler, thanks for sharing your story, man. I mean, I really feel like there are a lot of people out there that are going to want to say thank you. So how can they say thank you? How can we, stay connected with you, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn? What are your handles so we can reach out and just extend our thanks?
So our Instagram handles at S.AF Music Festival. Also, everything's on safemusicfestival.com. Twitter's S.AF Festival. Someone took it way before us. And then LinkedIn, just Tyler Bourque. I mean, Denver, Colorado, and I'll pop up. So yeah, I'm here for anyone that has any questions. I got a lot of time on my hands, even though my sleep schedule is messed up. So I'm always up now, it seems like.
You're on the grind, man. Well, the community appreciates it. Hey, man, we're super stoked for not only this event, but everything that is ahead for yourself. And we're all, rooting for you. We're all connected, and we're just all stoked because we got to be right now, guys. We got to be, right? We got to be stoked. There's too much opportunity and light that's still shining, in the community for us to let it hold us down and hold us back. So, thanks again, Tyler. We got Festiie Files. Everybody, S.AF Music Festival next week, May 7th through 10th, virtual experience. You have amazing artists. Well, talk about the artists real quick. Let's talk about the artists.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah.
So,
like, what kind of sounds could we be expecting?
So we wanted to do more than just EDM. So we have some hip hop and some bluegrass and rock and roll. Do you just want me to read off some of the names?
Yeah. Throw some names, some genres.
So one guy out of Boulder, he's opening up the entire festival. His name's Disco Lines. I recommend you check him out. He's awesome. All right. So then people you will notice, um, Danny Quest, Cade, Willie, Young Bombs, Snyder, Vavo. Then with Little Rock and Roll, we got the Mammoths, Vagabonds, Jared the Mills, Mo Lauda, Revelries, the 555, Winston Ramble. And then Saturday, we got Waves, Telecast, Gatuso. I'm not sure how to say his name. Good Times Ahead, Prismo, Win and Woo, Paz, Sam Fisher, Say Grace, Chaz Cardigan, Jordy, and a lot more than that. Working on a few more for Sunday. We only have 3 artists playing before the awards show, but they're going to be some big hitters. So I'm going to save that for later.
Yes, yes. And what about, do you have a yoga lineup and stuff like that? But we can all find this on safemusicfestival.com, right?
Yeah, so we're working on the yoga lineup. It should happen right before the festival, and I think we're also going to do it during for people that want to, you know, just enjoy the music and do something like that. So everything's being confirmed as we speak. So I think everything should be posted by Friday on the website. So you have 6 days to get ready.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, actually, it brings up another good question. You mentioned and you mentioned dance, right? You love to dance. Hey, I love to dance too, man. We got that in common.
Nice.
Now, but you also mentioned yoga and recently doing yoga, and I feel like, you know, a lot of, even at home, a lot of males are like a little hesitant towards yoga. Even myself, I'm like not hesitant towards it, but I know, like, dude, it's a workout. But talk about how the mixture of that, the mixture of being able to go to a festival and dance and enjoy that, but then balance it off and incorporating yoga into your lifestyle. Just give us some more insight on that, because I think a lot of people are at home, and even, you know, the dudes, and we should all be doing some yoga, right? It's definitely helpful for us, beneficial.
No, it definitely helps. I would say for yoga music festivals, it helps you dance better. You definitely wake up a lot more energized. It's like you said, it's a workout. I like doing vinyasa, like it's like 95, 100 degrees in the room. Obviously, I don't do that at my house. My electric bill would be through the roof. But yeah, so it just feels amazing. And then for doing it at home right now, especially for guys, like I don't know about you, but I've been playing a lot of video games. My lower back's been hurting. I mean, I'm about to hit 30 years old, my hip. So we started doing that, and it just relieves so much pressure. You can only take so much ibuprofen and Aleve in a day. So and it's really good to connect. Like my sister, or my girlfriend, she became a teacher like 4 years ago, and we just can. I love doing stuff that she loves to do, so we connect really well with that. It's something really nice to do, and also with the virtual side of yoga, you still feel like you're a part of a community. I mean, you could turn your webcam off if you don't want people watching you, because I feel like that's what really scared me from yoga, especially going to like core power. Yeah, no, I thought everyone, like, I thought I was so important that everyone was watching me, you know?
Yeah, no, that's right. Like literally you're there, and some, you know, there's a mirror, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm behind. They're already in Warrior 2, and I'm here trying to get off from Chaturanga or something, you know, like that whole thing. But you mentioned it, couple really good points, like, it makes you a better dancer. It's a good workout. And we're, you know, even for me doing these podcasts, I'm sitting down a lot. You know, you're playing video games a lot. It's just good to balance it off, get that stretching. And honestly, the other beautiful point, and what we're going to end it on, is everyone, you know, some days are easier than others, right? You feel it. Some days you feel better. And when you feel good on those days, reach out to someone else, you know. It doesn't have to be within just a festival community, but it could be just a friend, somebody, and just shed positivity their way. Tyler also mentioned the people that are around you, your close circle, you know, touch base with them, and sometimes go outside of yourself and do something that they love to do. Because he just mentioned, like, he got into yoga because his girlfriend loved yoga. And he was like, well, I love doing things that you love to do. Boom. You know, and that's all it takes. And that energy manifests, it snowballs, and then it just inspires, and it's positive energy, the good kind of energy we want to bring to our life. So thank you again, Tyler Bourque, everyone. Festiie Files, Safe Music Festival. Everybody take care. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you, Desmond. I'll see y'all later.
Yes, see you at the festival. Peace.